What is up, dog, YouTube? And welcome back to another episode of the Cromey Zone. So this week, what we're going to be looking at is my meal preps, and more specifically, how I do my meal preps here in Sligo, and by extension, here in Ireland. Because one of the issues I had when I was first starting out was I was watching these Australian YouTubers, American, Canadians, all these people in completely other countries with completely different grocery stores, completely different like shops and stuff like that. They were able to get different ingredients and different utensils and different equipment that I felt I wasn't really able to get here, and I felt that was definitely a big excuse. So for those of you here in Sligo that are on the fence about going into meal prepping or for scheduling out your foods and your nutrients more, I'm here to take that excuse away from you. Today's video is going to be looking at my breakfasts and my brunches. So the first two meals I have during my days. So one more thing before we start, there's 3 utensils I think are not necessary, but they make it a whole lot easier. And it was one of the things that when I was starting out kind of pulled me back, because I was like, oh, I don't have that equipment. I won't be able to do it as well as they can. This is going to be way too hard. I'm just going to not do it at all. Where it's not the case, you can absolutely do this without these pieces of equipment. But I'm going to tell you, they are very, very useful. And as you can see on screen now, it is number 1 is going to be the jar. If you are Irish, you likely will have a lot of jars coming in and out of the house. This jar, more specifically, I believe came from a jar of tikka masala or something like that. Number 2, what we have is we have the Tupperware. These Tupperwares I got on Amazon, I believe for 10 to 12 euro, and I got 10 of these. They are incredibly useful, not only for keeping everything neat and tidy, but for preserving your lunches and for not having them all squashed together in a bag. And then coming in at number 3 is the bag your lunches will get squashed in. So these sandwich bags I also got on Amazon, I think for something like 6 to 10 euro as well. And I got 40 of them. It's really handy. So for the sake of 20 quid, you're going to get basically your all your containers that you need for your meal prep. Something else that's like a little bonus one that I think is kind of useful is a funnel, but again, you don't absolutely need it. It's just kind of handy when you're pouring liquids like smoothies, or if you've blended up any like omelets or something like that into the jars. For me, I'm a little bit frugal, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Lidl, because all of the groceries and stuff there are quite cheap, and I can basically eat for the entire week for no more than 50 to 60 euro, which is really handy, and that's on a bulk. So that's like 3,500 calories per day that I can get for 60 euro a week, which is like 8 euro a day for me. But without any further ado, let's go. All right, and we're back. So first ingredient we're gonna make is gonna be my nut mix. As you can see up here on screen right now, that's in my fitness pal, so it's tracked in that. So this personal nut mix can make 12 servings, each containing 450 calories of pretty decent nutrients actually, and they're all coming from nuts and dried fruits, so that's really nutritious. These are them here. We've got 2 things of dried mango, all from Lidl. We've got 1 thing of macadamia nuts. The macadamia nuts aren't really that cheap, and it's not very budget friendly, but I do really like them. And because everything else that I'm using is quite budget friendly, these are pretty good. Also, if you can't tell already, we are currently raving to some gaff who is live right now as well.
You don't have the cheese. Huh? Is it back in the fridge?
It's back in the fridge.
Featuring Jake Cromey running coming back. I told you on my Instagram that I would be featuring the video, and this is it.
This is it. That's Jake. This is Jake's big feature. All right, and then we also have this nut mix as well that has like walnuts, peanuts, almonds, dried raisins, stuff like that, which is pretty good. These, oh my god. These are the containers we're going to be using for these for the actual nuts. So these are basically just soup containers, really. They come with soup in them. So we get those from Centra, something important. Now we're going to use our sandwich bags as well. We're going to throw all of our nuts in here, and we're just going to mix them around and then portion them out. it, they're all mixed now as well. And now what we're going to do is we're going to portion them out into each of these boxes. So you get about 8 servings. Sorry, I think I said 12 before. It's 8 servings, which is 0.12. Basically, is the serving size that you'll put into your Fitness Pal, because you're going to add all of these into the whole mix, if that makes sense. So, first off, we'll get our scale. Thank you, New. So we got our scale, also on Amazon. I think that was only like €9 or something like that. I'll put the price up on the screen. I forgot to mention that one earlier, but this thing is also quite, not essential, but it is really useful and definitely worth the money. Because not only does it make you a bit more strict on with exactly how much you're eating, but you get to learn, and it also, I would say it encourages you to eat appropriately as well, right? Hundo. So yeah, it definitely gives you that kind of...
My feature's up, sorry.
Oh, sorry, we burnt out Jake's time. And remember, donate into the Patreon if you want Jake to appear on more videos. That's the only way he'll come on. Yeah, so as you guys can't see, actually. So we're looking for about 72 grams per portion on these. That's how these kind of tend to work out a bit more. And then if you do 72 grams per thing, you can make them smaller. Depends what your calories are. If you want less calories during the day, I'm bulking, so I kind of want at least 400 calories per meal. And these are a really easy and healthy way to get calories in. So what I did was I just added a little bit more to each one of them. So now we have 7 portions, which is essentially 1 for every day for the next week. So that's pretty handy. So that is how you make your mixed nuts. Sweet guys, so the next thing that we're going to do, which is another one of our snacks, is a melon. Now usually I use watermelon because you get a lot of it and it's super cheap. This whole melon is literally like, I think it's $1.60, and if you get like a massive watermelon in Lidl, it's something like €3 as well, or $3.50, and you get just so many portions of that. The only reason I went for a regular melon is because I get too much watermelon to eat. Like I literally have to be snacking on the watermelon all the time to eat it all before it goes off, essentially. So we're going to see, this is my first time using the actual melon, so we're going to see if this is actually enough for the whole week. But otherwise, the watermelon is perfect. I just eat a lot more of it, so. So yeah, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I cut it up and how I portion it off. Usually what I'll do is I'll have 2 of these with almost every meal except for dinner. So breakfast, brunch, and lunch, I'll have 2 slices of this. We're also going to store it in these bags. I've just washed this one out as well because this is one I use for watermelon. Sweet. And just like that, guys, we have a massive bag of watermelon, which is definitely going to do us for a few days. We can put this in things like smoothies, we can eat them with our snacks, with our meals, and you can also just nibble and snack on them whenever you like to, because these things are fucking delicious. Sweet. So the next recipe that we're going to be learning to make is the omelette. So I learned to make these in my first year when I was living on my own in Dublin, and honestly I've not stopped eating them since. They are such a good and easy source of protein and micronutrients as well if you're putting veg in them. So they're just really convenient, and I highly recommend. They're really quick to make as well. So I recommend, if you are bulking, using something like this. If you do like eggs, is a really good choice, because you can do anything with them. You don't have to make an omelette. You can make scrambled eggs. You can do whatever you want with these. So let's get into the ingredients. So we're going to be using eggs. Usually I would put 3 eggs in, but unfortunately somebody has been eating those eggs, so I'm only going to be doing 2 each. Next, I use Flat Heaven's oats, good old Irish oats, guys. Next up we have spinach. So this is organic spinach, again a little bit pricier, but this is a good source of micronutrients for you. If you want, you can put in some broccoli, put anything else in them. And then lastly, for a bit of flavor, what I do is I put some hot sauce, I put some garlic salt, and I put in some cheese. Now the cheese is an excellent way to get extra calories in to your food, as it contains a lot more fat. So our omelets are also where we can start breaking out the jars. I like to use a funnel as well. This thing I got for I think €2-3 on Amazon, so that's quite handy as well. I'm sure you can pick them up in any sort of like store around you, like Centra, Homebase, anything like that as well. It just makes it easy and makes it, stops you from making a bit more of a mess. So let's go. And boom, just like that, we have our oats. They don't look that appetizing now, but I guarantee you guys, they're going to taste delicious. Sweet, so you can then pop these in the fridge and they'll keep for as long as 2 days. That's why I only make really 2 at a time. Just because, yeah, if you leave eggs a little bit longer than that, they can go a little bit stale. So that's obviously not very recommended. So the smoothie is, for me, I think, absolutely really important because it just gets you in so many nutrients in such an easy way. It's kind of like a shake. So firstly, the ingredients that I'm going to use for my personal smoothie is going to be orange juice as a base. If you're trying to lose the calories and cut out the sugars, if you're on a diet or if you're trying to lose weight, you can just use water if you'd like. We use bananas, so it's going to be about half a banana per portion. We're going to use our melons that we just cut. We're going to use a collection of berries, and there's also a little bit of banana in here as well. But what I have is blueberries and strawberries. I think there's some raspberries in there as well, yeah. Yeah, so blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. What you can do is, if you wanted to, you can buy those pre-made smoothie packets already, which are already, they're all done up for you, if you want to. That'll save you time, but they tend to be a little bit more expensive. So what I usually do is I buy just big packs of frozen fruit. They're also in little, they're only I think it's about €2, €2.50 for this big massive bag. And I just throw them all in here, and then I cut up any other fruits that I want, like my bananas and stuff. And then I throw them in there, and then you basically get your pre-packaged smoothies for a lot cheaper as well. That'll save you some time. And then also, what we're going to throw in is we're going to throw in some spinach. And then very lastly, this one is absolutely optional for people as well, but in this house we're a big fan of reishi. All right, guys, unfortunately, my outro got corrupted, so I'm gonna have to record another outro. But essentially, all I was saying was, if you guys have any tips or any comments or any experience with meal prep yourselves, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Maybe I'll feature them in another video, and that might help some other people out, might even help me out as well. So absolutely do that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video with anyone who's looking to do meal preps, and I really hope this helped you out. We're going to be coming back with another meal prep for the evening and for my later meals on, I think it's going to be Thursday. So yes, can't wait to see you guys then. Stay fit, stay happy, stay healthy.